broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. You, the silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet. Move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. That we have each other, and for that we have each other, and we will rise, we will rise, we'll rise, we'll rise.
And we're live. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry to keep you waiting. We had a few technical hits, but welcome eventually to the live LUF Lounge. We have some absolutely brilliant guests for you tonight, but first, we've got a couple of jobs for you. First, I want you to hit the like button and give some positive vibes for tonight, and then hit the share button. I want it sharing to as many people as possible, as many groups, then we can share the messages that we've got tonight. Okay, we have the lovely Emily here with us tonight, monitoring the comments. Say hello, Emily.
Hello, honestly, there's loads of people and already I'm really excited, so it's really good. Lots of people.
Oh, brilliant. So if you haven't already done so, say hello to Emily and she'll give you a shout out. Okay, we have, let me introduce my friend and colleague, my co-host, Daniel Littlechild. What have we got going on tonight, Dan?
Hi, guys. Welcome. I'm super excited.
Yeah.
We've got 50 people watching already. So yeah, welcome to the Saturday night's Lancashire User Forum. Tonight's value is respect, and our theme for tonight is self-care. You know, this is tough times that we're facing with at the minute, back in lockdown, and we need to be kind to ourselves. So that's going to be our message for tonight. We've got some great speakers. We've got a bit of music for you. We've got a competition. So if you hit the like and share button, that's the way you get into the competition. So the guys that have liked and shared it from last week will be going into the wheel for this week's competition at the end of the show. So if you like and share it from here to Saturday, you'll be put into the show for next week. Okay, Bev? All
right, so shall we get going down? We are for, oh no, we're going to introduce the guests first, I think.
Yeah, let's go round. First on my screen, Paul. Do you want to unmute yourself?
Hi guys, it's nice to be on the show. I'm project lead for Rosendale Works Employability Project and very much a member of the Challenge Through Sports Initiative project with Active Lancashire.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, Paul.
Darren.
Hi guys, I'm Darren Mansfield. I'm one of the team leaders for We Are With You Lancashire Young People's Substance Misuse Service.
Welcome. Alison.
Hi everybody, I'm Alison Starkey. I'm Health and Wellbeing Assistant for Inspire in Accrington. Just have a little bit of a chat to you tonight around bloodborne viruses.
Thanks, Alison.
Thank you.
And then we have the twins. Hi guys.
You have
Do
to
you wanna
mute
unmute
yourselves, Dave and Dom, because we muted you.
Hey guys, I'm going to get fit tonight, Hiya.
Thanks for coming on, guys.
No problem, man.
We're gonna have some music from you two guys, aren't we? And then we're just gonna have a little bit of a share from Dave. Ben, that boy with the bucket hat.
Thanks for the introduction, Dan. And hi, Bev, and the rest of the gang, the twins. It's always good to see you guys. It's a blessing to be on Red Rose Recovery. Yeah, it's Ben SOS. It's your boy with the bucket hat, coming from the Dry Wave, the new Dry Wave HQ. It's a studio that a couple of my mates have helped me build. So yeah, we're getting busy from the Dry Wave HQ. That's Dry Wave events on Facebook, Instagram, and the rest of the social media pages. So cheers.
Thanks, Ben. What have you got for us, Emily?
Got a lot of love. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to read some of these people. So we've got Carmel Thorogood. Oh, she's one of my babes. So well done, Carmel. She's a newbie. We've got Brad Duke, Colin Boardman, hello, Alison Kershaw, Chris Rowland, Darren Bird, Joe Clayton. Joe's watching. His girlfriend's having a baby due February. Daisy, hello, my darling. David Simpson, Jonathan Chapman, Dale Waterworth, Lindsay Jackson. Oh my God, there's so many people. Kaylee Kamel, hello, Kaylee. Oh, Rachel Singleton, Donna Feeney, Shelley Nixon. There is honestly, and everyone's sharing it, and it is magic.
Oh, brilliant.
I'm excited. So there's so many people. So hello, everybody, and I'll just keep scrolling through and making sure I don't miss out on anybody. But everyone's liking and sharing the post, so that's brilliant.
Thanks, Emily.
So should we start off then? Should we kick it off with some music?
Yeah, let's go.
Right, over to you two guys.
I think you'll have to mute yourself again, Dave. I think Danny must have muted you. He's doing that on purpose, Dave.
I'm thinking that myself. All right, guys. All right, we're just trying to think what to do, because I don't want it to keep doing the same things. But we've been working on a new song called "Living a Lie," and it's pretty sad, really. But like, I think it's really apt about not giving in on other people. You remember? I want a big shout out to the Blackpool Fellowship. I know they've lost a really close guy this morning, thinking of Matter. But you know, just this song's just about just not giving in on anyone yet. It's called "Living a Lie," and it was actually wrote about me thinking he'd give in on me, but he never has. You remember? It's just my okay. There were storm clouds brewing on my road to ruin. I had to fight the urge to run. I was facing the facts with knives in my back, and it's something I found fun. And there was no way out, and I was left in no doubt when it all started to come. All true. What did you do when I needed you? When I needed you. Oh, you started to walk when you heard the talk that the big bad wolf was me. You forgot all I've done, added 1 and 1, and you ended up with 3. No chance to complain, you never let me explain. You just turned your back on me, and it's true. What did you do when I needed you? When I needed you. And now turn blind, now pretend you can't see what's going on around me. Turn a blind eye, it's got nothing to do with me. And now walk on by, oh why, oh why, oh why, when you're living a lie. Oh. And you said you would always be there for me, there for me. And you said we were 2 of a kind. And you said you would always take care of me, care of me. And now I know you were just telling lies. Woo. So when the wolf comes calling in the early morning and you got nowhere to hide, oh, remember me when I was in need. Now it's time to turn the side. And it's too late now, I won't help you anyhow, just like you would help me. And it's true. Now what will you do when they come for you? And when they come for you? And I'll turn blind, I'll pretend I can't see what's going on around me. Turn a blind eye, it's got fuck all to do with me. And I'll walk on by, oh why, oh why, oh why, why are you living, why are you living a lie? Why are you living a lie? Why are you living a lie? Oh why? Oh, why are you living a lie?
Brilliant, brilliant, guys. Thanks a lot.
God, Dave. Jeez.
Come to you, Emily. Have you got some love for Dave and Dom?
Lots of love. That was brilliant. That was really good. You wouldn't want me to come and join and sing with though, because it's pretty nasty. Right, we've got Richard Tower saying, how do you connect? Well, you've already connected, mate, and I've told you what you need to do. Just follow us and become a member. We've got Darren Rainbird, love my recovery family. Respect Dave and Donna Feeney. She's one of our top fans. That's great. Tracy Leatherhead. Hi, everyone. Good to see you all. Paul Kitcher, you guys rock. You do. That was brilliant. We've got Kim Wood, my next door neighbours, watching. I always get her to watch. We've got a Kerry Shaw. Hi, everyone. I'm new to this page. Hi, Kerry. You'll love us. We're all a bit broken biscuits, but that's good. We like broken biscuits. Jonathan Chapman. What a great opening song for this Recoveries Live LUF Lounge. Brilliant. Andrew Michael, love it, lads. Joe Clayton, go on, lads. Love it, top tune. Brad Duke. Honestly, you've got loads of love. There's 70 people watching. Well, when I'm looking on it now. Gary Welsh is watching. Lindsay Jackson. Yes, guys. Chris Rowlands. He's clapping his hands with loads of love hearts. Oh, my God. There's so many people. There is a lot of love. I'm feeling it. Well done.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
I can take a breath now. I couldn't breathe then.
Okay, so before our next guest, we've got a little bit of a clue for you. Are you ready, guys, for the clue?
Not me.
Are you ready, Emily? Here we go. After 3, 1, go.
Yeah, the bucket hats have all gone.
Now, I'd just like to point out that this is my son's and he's 7, so I do apologise, but I'm modelling the smaller bucket hat, but, you know.
Flipping heck, Emily.
I tried.
But
It's a
just
little bit
before you
tiny, but
start,
listen,
Ben.
I need that bucket hat in my life. In fact, I've actually got the trainers to go with it on.
Is this one? You need the red one?
Listen, you can keep that one.
This one.
Oh, it's be bloody rude, isn't it?
I love
Okay,
it.
but before Ben starts, Emily's got something for you all. Go on,
So
Emily.
everybody that's watching this tonight, right, if you want to look as stupid as me or even stupider, it could be possible. There's a £10 prize, voucher prize. So you need to follow the Red Rose page. You need to share, click the button, follow, share, and then you need to post a picture, best picture of you wearing either a bucket hat, any hat, but you've got to post it to the LUF Lancashire User Forum page. And then the winner will be drawn on Thursday next week to win a prize. So come on, guys, if I'm prepared to do this, you lot get your photographs on there, like and share, you can win a prize.
Hey,
Emily.
listen, Emily.
What?
Emily, if they haven't got a hat, can you make one out of paper? Can you make a paper hat?
Do what you want. It's just got to be a hat, and you've got to join in with this fun. You know what I mean? It's our well-being. We need to feel good. We need to have a bit of a laugh. Yeah, do what you want.
Can I add something to that £10 voucher? Can We Are With You give a £20 Boots voucher as well?
Whoa!
Oh, thanks, Darren. Fantastic. Thank you very much.
So
that's £30 then for the best hat. So come on, guys.
Right, listen. Because it's a competition with me in it, right? I'm going to send £20 cash down to Pete, right? So put another 20 quid in the pot, right?
Whoa! Wow. I'm joining.
So come on, guys. You've got to follow the Red Rose page. Thanks, Ben. You've got to follow the Red Rose page. So go to it, like it, or you click on the 3 little dots. Make sure you're following it, and then get your pictures on the LUF page. And that's £50 we've got now for the best headgear.
Awesome.
Obviously, no expense.
Thanks, Darren and Ben.
Spared, so, yeah, good luck.
Osik, over to you, Ben.
Wow. Well, nice one, guys. You know, what a lovely way to introduce me. You know, it's quite special, actually, for you all to kind of, you know, get all the hats and do all this for me, and then even have the competition to kind of relate and resonate with me, right? So, you know, everybody out there, look, you know, I think there's a reason for the competition, right? You know, we have to, it's our job to outreach. And I think it's really important that, you know, when we press that share button, we need to know exactly what are we doing when we press that share button. So hold tight, everybody pressing that share button now to join in the incentive. But there's also a couple of other reasons. It allows us guys, it allows Red Rose to know that we're doing a good job, to know that there's something meaningful here. So it gives us some inspiration and incentive to kind of move forward with outreach and move forward with a message that we're trying to share today. And also within Facebook, you guys out there, all the listeners, have your own individual, personal friendship group, right? So when you press share, it allows us to reach that somebody in your friendship group who really, really, really needs to hear this. In fact, when you press that share button, you're in the job of saving lives, because I can't tell you how many friends I've lost since this lockdown, through suicide, through overdose, through relapse. You're in the job of saving lives. I know it's only a small act to do, but you know, faith is small. Faith as small as a mustard seed. That little act of just pressing that share really, really can save somebody's life. So listen, smash that share button out now if you haven't done it yet, or even if you have done it, share it to all the groups and get entered into this really cool competition. Press share. Take a little picture with you with a bucket hat or a paper hat. put your boxers or your knickers on your head, whatever it is, you know, get involved in this whole like digital outreach that's going on, right? So look, talking about bucket hats, we're gonna have a listen to the boy with the bucket hat rapping. I've got an album coming out. It's been pushed back a little bit. It's gonna come out next year. It's called 12 Steps Too Far, and this is a message to all those guys that need to hear it. It's called Never Give Up. It's a track by myself, produced by DJ Kydro, with a load of Manchester recovery guys and girls taking part in it as well. So let's have a listen to that, Dan, when you're ready, my friend. Let's go.
Ben SOS. Story time. True stories. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna give up on you. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna give up on you. Smash into a million pieces, disfigured features, haven't eaten. Lord only knows how bad I'm beaten. First time circle sat defeated, I can't say no, that's my weakness. I've sank so low, reach the deepest I can go. Help me defeat this, don't let go, please I need this. The meeting starter, please remain seated. Try and identify with who's speaking. I curled in the ball and fell asleep, and I dreamt a dream I'd not slept in weeks. In the dream I was fresh and clean, woke up to a brew and a white key ring. One day clean and a fight to win, God only knows what might have been. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna give up on you. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna give up on you. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not on you. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna give up on you. Keep coming back, that's what they said. So I sat back in the seat where I slept. I slept, I washed, I shaved, I vet. Just for today, I've not used yet. Holding on, bruised and blessed. My broken body put through the test. Don't trust nobody, but I do my best. And they told me, let God do the rest. I took the first step, they done 12. Is this heaven if I come from hell? Just in time, say by the bell. My guy co-signed the pain I felt. It takes a while to get sane and well. Time came and went. I put in the pot, help pay the rent. 30 days under my belt. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna give up on you. I'm not gonna give up on you. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna give up on you. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna give up. Yo, so I count the days, out the maze, but I get this text. How's he mate? I'll be rounding fine, but the browning way. I feel my heartbeat pound away till I bring that brown to my mouth and vape. And remember the pipe and the sound it makes, the loudest taste. Found a chase, you can't hear a sound in space, but I wake up, sweat dripping from my face. Look, I dream a nightmare like it's coming back to take us. So wake up, go and check the date lock. We are the music makers, not so 60 days you made up. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna give up on you. God, I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna give up on you. I'm not gonna give up on you. I'm not gonna give up. And the wisdom's know the difference. I'm not gonna give up on you.
Wow.
Should we go over to Emily for some comments really quick?
Yeah, please. That'd be great, Dan. Thank you.
Absolutely loads of comments. Right, so we've got Joe Clayton. I've been listening to you today, Ben. Thanks to Emily, that's me who introduced him to your video, so thank you. We've got Anais Jade Moonhill, Unit Hill.
Yeah, Anisha,
That's it. Sorry, Anessa, I couldn't pronounce your name. I'm so sorry. She loves you, Ben. She's so proud of how well you've done. Stuart Watson, he's watching now. It took him 20 minutes to get on, but well done. We've got a comment from Paul Kitcher. Jude sends his love to you, Ben.
Oh, I love Jude. Love you, Paul. Love Jude and the rest of the kids.
We've got Womble Barker, formerly known as Vicky. She says hi. And Sarah Elizabeth Davis says broken biscuits in bucket hats. Fair dues, yeah, I suppose that's true.
Why not? That's just about right, that, isn't it?
Chris Rowland said he'll pay the £50 for an early release of your album.
I'll tell you what I'm gonna do, right? Because everybody keeps mithering for Black Woolly Hat. I've done a track called Black Woolly Hat, so I'm gonna put something together around that, Chris, and I'm gonna send it to you. So everybody keeps mithering for that track. So I'm gonna put another track out in the next week or so. But you're not having the album yet, right? But the album is mad. It's absolutely nuts.
Donna Feeney said the Serenity Prayer always gives me goosebumps. It does me. I absolutely love it. Paul Kitcher, wow, sick. Love you, Ben.
Yes.
Goosebumps from Womble. Darren Bird from the Heart. Sarah Elizabeth Davis, wow, powerful track. Barbara English, oh my God, what a brilliant song. The video is unbelievable. Terry Hughes, class, love it, Ben. Very talented lad. Respect the balaclava blogger.
Hey, the balaclava blogger inside, right? Yeah, man.
Absolutely. I had a little. I keep singing to that song as well. I keep like going right. I did a little video, but it was nowhere near as good as yours, obviously. So well, I just want to be in your gang. That's all it is. Want to be in
well, listen, maybe in the next video we get a few of the Red Rose guys down. You know, yes. Let's make something happen, right? Yes. Why not? I think we should listen. I think we should get 50, 100 people from recovery. When the lockdown's over, and we'll do a music video with everybody.
Oh my God, I'm excited! Look at you, happy famous.
Let's do that. Listen, you'll get your fame. Don't you worry. I'll make you famous, sweetheart. It won't cost you a penny, right?
Brilliant. Absolutely. And also, what David Simpson? How do I get the album? How does he get the album, Ben?
Okay, so the album's coming out next year. I'm actually creating some narrative to go with the album, so it's going to be it's going to be in a theatre setting, and there's going to be loads going on with it. We're just planning the launch now, so we'll have a huge event and theatre behind it with narrative and dancers. In fact, Paul Bays, who was speaking on there, that's Paul Bays Kitcher. He was a first in the Birmingham Royal Ballet. He's choreographing the dance that's going to go with the album and the narrative. So there's loads coming up from myself, from Drywave, and a load of other guys and girls that are part of this Drywave and Red Rose recovery movement, right? We've got a couple of posters to show everyone as well. So first poster is the Winter Wave, right? Have we got that one, Dan? So look, I've been super busy in the background. So make sure you pinch and pull that up if you can't see it. So I've been super busy in the background. Tomorrow night we launch the Drywave winter season. So make sure you add the Drywave events page to catch the winter season every Sunday with Prophecy and Friends. Tomorrow night we've got Prophecy and S-Man. So it's basically an alternative outreach, right? We're going to have a bit of fun. We know the lockdown is tough. So I put together some old school music, some new school, some piano, house, some drum and bass, some rapping, loads of shout outs. We want to know all of your clean time. So make sure you send me your clean time into the suggested post. Add myself on Ben SOS Facebook or Drywave events. And then on the 20th of December, we have the Winter Wave. We've already sold nearly 200 tickets for the Winter Wave. That's going to be live on Zoom. It's going to be a 5-hour-long gathering with all super sober soldiers coming on board the winter wave. We've got Faithless, we've got a DJ and drum set with Ben Relton, we've got Awesome 3, and we've got a huge special guest. It's going to be old school, it's going to be new school, it's going to be everything you like, and there's going to be over 300 or 400 super sober recovery soldiers coming onto Zoom for the winter wave, right? It's just it's absolutely going nuts out here. I don't know where these ideas come from sometimes, but it's crazy. Also, Dan, can we have the other poster up, my friend, please? Do give up on you. So, flipping it, there's so much value to tell you guys. I kind of burn my own head out with the value that we're giving. So, as part of our dedication to outreach, specifically through the lockdown, as a support service, I've put together a really cool pathway. It's called A Journey Through the Arts. So A Journey Through the Arts is a hands-on workshop where you can come and get involved in theatre, in paint, and in music production, in professional environments with professional equipment and professional facilitators, i.e. Bucky Hat Ben, and we've got a couple of other really cool artists and theatre facilitators as well. It's an accredited course, so it's a dedication to an arts award, and I literally mentor you personally for 4 months to end up with a position in work placement. It might be education placement, it might be setting up your own business, but it's a really cool journey to come on with myself. There's only 3 places left, so if you're in Manchester, you have to be in Manchester or Greater Manchester, which is quite a big place. If you're in Manchester or Greater Manchester and you're into theatre or the arts, shout me now, because then places are going to go by the end of this show. Trust me. So there's so much going on, right? I don't want to take up too much time, but you know, I do know this show is about value setting. So what I wanted just to kind of speak about quickly was, how do we become active, involved members of society, and how do we raise our wellness, our well-being? How do we keep that level, you know, at, you know, well, mine's at an all-time high, and the reason for that is literally because of action. So I understand that my head lies. I understand that my head can create feelings which are also lies. So what I do, you know, I remember some kind of like basic rules, right? Like action comes before feelings, right? So for me, there's an action within the 5 ways to well-being. If you don't know the 5 ways to well-being, I'll just quickly explain them now. So firstly, I connect. That's why we ask you guys to share all the time, because connection is key. Connection is key, right? So if you're not feeling cool, if you're not feeling calm or composed, you're probably not getting connected, right? So, you know, number 1 for me is to connect with people who are achieving just as much as me or achieving more than me, right? Because I know that we are all parrots, right? We copy each other, yeah? If you stay in the hairdressers long enough, you're going to get your hair cut. So I connect with really cool, powerful people who are friends and mentors, right? And I become like them and they become like me. And we literally copy each other and raise each other's bar, right? So connection is key. Physically active, whether I like it or not, I try to get physically active at least 4 times a week. So I suffer with COPD now. I remember 2 years when I came back into recovery after a fucking horrendous relapse. I couldn't breathe, right? I couldn't even walk because I couldn't breathe to be able to walk. And you know, so I started to go walking with friends, right? And I'd do 5 minutes, I'd have to come home. Within a couple of weeks, I was doing 10 minutes. Then I was doing a 20-minute walk. Then I thought, right, okay, I've built myself up enough to go swimming. So I used to go swimming. I could only do one length. All the old women and old men would be passing in the swimming baths. I'd be embarrassed, but I wouldn't listen to my head. I kept putting the action in. This week, I've started running. So it's taken me 2 years of staying active, right? But now I've started to go running. You know, my body's looking ripped. I'm feeling healthy. I'm feeling good. I learn new skills, right? So I'm constantly, you know, learning, you know, how to play the keyboard more, how to produce more. I think, you know, what other skills can I learn? You know, it may be to learn philosophy. It may be to, you know, to look at like a different spiritual guru, see what he's got to say. You know, I like to learn more, fucking hell, giving back to others. It's a big one, right? I mean, I'm constantly giving back to others. Probably, you know, that's probably one of the places I fall short, right? Because I probably give a little bit too much, but hey ho, it is what it is. The last one is, you know, I pay attention to the present moment, and I practice mindfulness. You know, sometimes if my head starts going and starts talking too much, I stop, I breathe, I check that I'm breathing. It brings me back into the moment. I have a look what's around me, and I realize that, you know what, there it goes again. It's chatting shit again. It doesn't mean anything. 90% of it's bullshit. So I bring myself back into the present moment. 5 ways to well-being. You know, put some action in, guys. It seriously works. Nice one, guys. Thanks for giving me the time to share. And thanks for the warm welcome with the bucket hats. It's great. It's brilliant. It's beautiful. I love you guys. Love Red Rose Recovery. Let's keep at it, right? Let's keep connected. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Ben.
Thanks for coming on, Ben. We really appreciate it.
Cheers, guys. Guys, I'm going to have to go because I've got some work to do. You know the scripts. I'm super busy. I'm here, there, and everywhere. But I'm going to catch up later on, and I'll give it a share to some of the groups around my area as well, yeah?
Thanks, Ben.
Take care,
Thanks
everybody.
very much.
Make sure you share. See you later. Bye.
See you later.
Bye, gang. Bye.
Can I just say that Lindsay Jackson apparently is like overtaking the forum with pictures of different hats. So Lindsay Jackson is she's running out of hats apparently, and she's contemplating on making some now. So go on, Lindsay.
Oh, she's winning. Brilliant. Well done, Lindsay.
No, because when I get off, I'm going to be busy finding hats. So, you know,
absolutely, you better be.
Competition going on now. So yeah, and Ben Riley is full of positive energy, says Jonathan Chapman. So that's brilliant. And can I just give a shout out to Donna Feeney? She's a week and 1 day clean out of detox.
Well done, Donna. Big respect, Donna. We love you, Donna. I've been watching your progress, so well done on that. And thanks to everybody for the shout outs as well. You know, I tried to keep in touch with all of you, so that's really cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice one, Ben.
Should we move on to our next guest, Bev?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So can we introduce Alison? Alison's the health and wellbeing nurse at CGL. Is that correct?
Health and wellbeing assistant. I'm not a nurse. I'm really delighted to be here, and thank you so much for inviting me. Now, I did notice that on the agenda it said that I was going to talk about postal bloodborne virus screening. However, I'm not really sure how helpful that would be to everybody, because a lot of people that will be watching this actually won't be in service with CGL, and that's the only way at the moment I'm able to offer the postal service. However, I'll go more into that. So what I'll talk about really is just bloodborne virus screening, what bloodborne viruses are. So a lot of you will have some awareness of them, but bloodborne viruses are viruses that some people carry in their blood and can be spread from one person to another. The most common of these bloodborne viruses are hepatitis B, hepatitis C and HIV. Those are the most common ones in this country. There are other forms of hepatitis, but we don't really see them very much in this country. So HIV, human immunodeficiency virus, can lead to AIDS. I'm sure we've all got some knowledge of this. However, it's not as terrifying as it used to be back in the 80s when we saw all those awful adverts and everything. Nowadays, there is a treatment for it, which, although it doesn't cure it, it means that it keeps the viral load very, very low and people can live a perfectly normal life. The treatment is tablet-based and it's taken daily. So that's as far as I'm going to go into HIV, because I don't deal with it much at all. I screen for it, but I've actually had no screenings come back to me that have been positive for HIV, which is good, really. Hepatitis B and hepatitis C are the ones that normally I would have some dealing with, predominantly hepatitis C. Now, these are virus infections and they affect the liver. And the liver is a very, very important organ. We really need that. And it's important that it's in good condition. Now, these hepatitis B and C, they are not to be confused with alcohol hepatitis. These two are caused by viruses, whereas the alcohol hepatitis is caused by the damage that the alcohol creates due to the chemicals, etc. in it. So these are virus-based ones. Now, the main ways that these are passed on, predominantly by injecting drug use and sharing of equipment and so on. But I do feel that this gives our injecting drug users some bad stigma, really, because it's not the only way that these things can be passed on. They can be passed on through unprotected sex. They can be passed on through any other things where there may be the potential to come into contact with blood. So toothbrushes, razors, things like that. These are all ways that they can be passed on. Now, a lot of people say, well, I've never injected, so, you know, I'm not at risk. Even things like sharing notes for snorting cocaine and so on, because that creates damage to the septum, then there's potential for blood to be there. So again, that can be passed that way. So as well as through blood, these viruses also can be found in other bodily fluids as well. For example, we get to the nasty bits now, vaginal fluids and semen, but it can also be passed on in breast milk as well. That's hepatitis B, not so much hepatitis C. There's also a slight chance of things being passed in things such as urine, saliva, sweat, spit, vomit, but they would have to be contaminated with blood. Now, we wouldn't always know that these things were contaminated with blood because if it's just traces, you wouldn't necessarily see it. So it's just a good thing to avoid all these things just in case, because we never know. So hepatitis B can cause either a mild or severe inflammation of the liver, and sometimes with jaundice. It can sometimes be fatal. But most adults, in fact around 80% of people with hepatitis B, will make a full recovery on their own. The other 20% will probably need some treatment. You know, there's good treatments now. It's tablet-based treatment that can keep the viral load very low and you know, keep the damage reduced. Unfortunately, there isn't a cure for hepatitis B. However, there is a vaccination that can prevent it. So again, it's always good practice to be vaccinated, especially for people whose jobs may involve coming into contact with such things. Hepatitis C is the one that I would deal with most often. So again, similar ways that it's transmitted, injecting equipment predominantly, unprotected sex, etc. Now, the incubation period for hepatitis C is usually around 70 days, but it can range anywhere from 2 weeks to 26 weeks. So what I'm saying with that really is that you could come into contact with it and not necessarily know for quite some time. So this makes testing very important as well. So hepatitis C causes cirrhosis of the liver, which is scarring of the liver, and it can in some cases lead to cancer of the liver as well. people who are infected with these bloodborne viruses, quite often there's no symptoms, so you wouldn't necessarily know. There might be some mild initial symptoms, but then they will go away, and people can have hepatitis C, for instance, for years and years and not have any symptoms whatsoever. Doesn't mean that there's nothing going on the inside. It can be quietly causing some damage on the inside. People often think that, you know, some of the symptoms that there are, for instance, tiredness, poor concentration, we often think, well, I'm just getting on a bit, you know, but quite often find that when people do find that they have Hep C and they start treatment, that these feelings of tiredness and the poor concentration will go away, and they often feel like, you know, they're quite a new person. So testing is important, and the tests are very, very simple. It's just a simple finger prick test. So we're not taking blood out of veins or anything like that. Simple finger prick test, 5 little spots of blood onto a card that gets sent away for testing. Normally with Inspire, we will be testing, I personally will be testing, all the healthcare assistants will be testing people face to face, and we would do the test for them. However, at the moment, due to this darn COVID thing, we've had to take a little bit of a different approach. So what I'm doing now, what we are doing as a service now, is sending out bloodborne virus testing kits to people's homes. And what I'm doing is I'm phoning them up a couple of days later to talk them through the process of how to complete the test themselves. It's not difficult. And I've had some really good feedback from doing that as well. And I've got to say, I'm really enjoying it. People are absolutely brilliant. As I say, treatment, if somebody were to find out that they were positive for hepatitis C, there's a lot of fear around the treatment because of the old treatment that there used to be, which was interferon, which was really, really unpleasant, and it made people feel really ill. And it lasted for such a long time. To take the treatment for around 12 months. Can you imagine doing that for 12 months? You know, a lot of people didn't actually complete it. And even if they did do, at the end of the day, it wasn't necessarily effective. The new treatment now is tablet-based only. It lasts for around 3 months. And at the end of the 3 months, you just have another little blood test just to confirm that it's been effective. But there's no unpleasant side effects. I'm not going to lie and say there's never any side effects, but the people who I speak to who have gone through this treatment are saying there's little or nothing. They might say, oh, well, I've had a bit of a headache. The thing is, you could have a headache anyway, and it wouldn't necessarily be down to treatment, but chances are if you're taking some treatment at the same time, you're going to attribute it to that. So at the moment, testing with Inspire, we can do testing for people who are not service users, but they would have to come into the needle exchange and see us that way. Other ways of getting tested are through sexual health clinics, gun clinics. Your own GP may be able to advise of where to go, or may even in some cases be able to do the test there themselves. Also, there is something called the Hepatitis Trust. And I have a contact for Asa Jones, who is part of the Hepatitis Trust, who will be able to help with that. So aside from that, I think I've said pretty much all that I intended to say. If there are any questions, please feel free.
Thanks, Alison. Can I just come in quickly? You know, if there is anybody watching who's, you know, problems with HIV or something like that, then we have got, we can signpost you to the Terence Higgins Trust, which is one of the biggest, what do you call it, HIV charity in England. I think it's the biggest. So we can signpost you to that if you need help with that. But Alison, thank you ever so much for coming on.
Most welcome. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Alison. It linked in nice as well. We had a doctor on last time talking about Hep C, so it's linked in well that, you know, you've described about getting tested and how easy it is now. It's not like before. Brilliant, that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's a couple of questions. Darren Bird, Do you have to top up the BBV vaccination? He had that 8 years ago before going into rehab.
If he's had his all 3 vaccinations for hepatitis B, they do recommend a booster after 5 years. But in most cases, you know, that's it. You're vaccinated for life once you've done the full course.
Right, so I hope that answered your question, Darren. Also, Stuart Watson wanted to say, can I thank Alison for doing my blood test over the phone recently, for being here for me, and for the hat that she's worn. So,
yeah, that were a great hat.
Jonathan Chapman, very educational listening to Alison, and also a very stark warning to the medical facts. Thank you, Alison. And then Sarah Elizabeth Davis has put, if you need more info on HIV, please go to, she's put a website on. Thank you for that, Sarah. And Darren says thanks, so we got the answer to what he needed. So yeah, it was really interesting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Emily. Thanks, Alison.
Thank you.
Okay, just before we move on with the show, Pete's just dropped back in, and we have a survey. You'll have seen it linked to the live shows, and you'll have seen it shared around the page and things. And Pete's just going to give you some info on that, what the data that survey brings, and how it's important that you fill it in so that you get your voice heard. So I'll hand you over to Pete.
So it's one of our remits in the Lancashire User Forum to make sure that everybody has a space and that their voice is heard and it rings out at every level. So recently, I wanted to just feed back to you what we're doing with that data. So like Bev said, at the top of the link on Facebook, you can see a survey link and you can click that survey. You can answer a few questions. One of the things we want to do with that data is feed it in locally. So your clinical commissioning groups, people who are designing systems that affect us and our families and our loved ones, design it based on our voices and our shared experiences. The other thing I wanted to just give you some feedback on was, it's not just locally we want to give this data, give this information to. We want to make sure that it gets fed in nationally into the corridors of power. So Parliament, the Home Office, things like that. So I'm just going to share my screen and show you, because up to now we've only ran this quarter's data for a couple of weeks. So in a couple of weeks, we've had something like 45 people have given us their time. So I'll show you that data so far. Can you see that? So when you fill out that 2-minute form, it goes into a spreadsheet that we capture like this. So up to now, we've had 45 responses. And the first thing we ask is, what's your location? So 37 people have come from within Lancashire. 3 have come from outside of Lancashire. And 5 people are filling it in from a different country. So yeah, thanks for that. What's your age range? It's no surprise to me that it's half and half, but we haven't got very many young people. So from a Lancashire User Forum perspective, we could look at shaping this space to include, make sure it's relevant to younger people, because according to this data, there's only one between 18 and 29. The vast majority are either between 30 and 49 or over 50. And we've got an even split. So we've got 24 men, 21 women. And that's just, we're getting to the meaty stuff now. Are you connecting easily with services such as your local housing authority, your employment, or your mental health or drug treatment? And 22 people say yeah, 3 people are saying no, 15 people are saying somewhat, and 5 have said I haven't needed to, probably because they're in a different country. Have you come across any barriers to connecting with and accessing these services? If so, In what ways could we support you to overcome them? And we've had 26 responses. And if you're interested in what those responses are, you know, you can always touch base with one of our guys and they'll share this data with you. If you visited services for substance misuse or mental health, did you feel involved in the decisions about your treatment? Or was you asked to comply to a regime that is more about a system than it is about you getting well? So 19 people said, yeah, they felt involved. 15 said somewhat. And 2 people said, no, they didn't. And again, 9 haven't visited any services. So I'll get through this as quick as I can. There's only 15 questions. If you were involved, were you happy with the outcome of your treatment? If not, do you know how to challenge these decisions? Or would you need help expressing your views? And 17 people said, yeah, I felt involved and I'm happy with it. 2 people said they felt involved, but they're not happy. And 14 people said, I know how to challenge them. 4 people said they don't know how to challenge. Moving on to, even if you aren't using any services just now, which would you prioritise? Connecting with services and professional organisations, or peer support and mutual aid? And again, you know, we get a mixed response. 17 said I prioritise connecting with mutual aid, and 5 said I prioritise with professional services. 23 said both, a mixture of both. 9, do you need support to connect with mutual aid or professional organisations? 15 people said, yeah, they do. They need support. And 30 people said they don't. How are you adapting to the new ways of connecting as a result of COVID? And 7 said promoters. So this again is a free text answer. So if you're involved, if you're interested in finding out a bit more about that, then free text answers, we've got that also. Would you prefer to engage and connect through structured groups or through one-to-one support? So 17 prefer structured groups. 12 prefer groups, but not so structured. Groups where they can be a bit flexible. And 16 said, we want one-to-one support. Many organisations have moved online and remote working. Do you possess both the equipment and the skills to be able to use this? So 30 people said yeah, and 15, that's what's that? Third? 1/3 of our people said no, they don't have the equipment or the skills. It's pretty worrying, isn't it? If you didn't have the equipment and skills, what were the issues you encountered? So a lack of money to purchase the equipment, 4 people said, and a lack of knowledge to use the equipment, 8 people said, and to come with other. So if you did have the skills and equipment, how did you find the experience of accessing services? So again, you know, we've got some free text answers to back up that. As with many organisations, we've had limited time and resources. Are there certain areas where you would like to see more focus or priority given? And we've got, again, a broad range of free text answers for that. So I suppose my ask to you guys is to have a look at the top of the Facebook page, the link, and fill out the survey, because we will make sure that your voice gets heard. And here's the other thing, you know, our guys are busy delivering contracts now. If you want to advocate for your community, then sign up as a member, get involved, put yourself right in the mix, you know, and we'll make sure that people get played through into them opportunities. So have a top evening, and I'm just going to put my hat on so I don't feel like I'm not involved, but you probably can't see it very well, can you?
It's a do-rag, isn't it?
So what? What's a do-rag? That doesn't sound very nice. It's an improvised beanie. That's what it is.
Oh,
I don't
right.
know do-rag.
Okay.
But I can say Emma is missing one of her tights. So
All right.
have a lovely evening.
Thanks, Pete.
I love you guys and I love what you're doing. Stay safe and stay blessed, yeah?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Pete. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
I think that moves us on nicely, doesn't it, Bev, to what Pete has just finished up on that about the groups that we're running.
That's right, yeah.
The whole Red Roses.
I don't know if Emily has any comments first. Do you, Emily?
Yeah.
Just seems to be all going off with the hats. There's people putting hat pictures on. Someone's made, Joe Duffield's resorted to making himself a tinfoil hat. Lindsay's going wild. They're having competition of who's going to get the best hats on there. It's all going off, So when I get off here, I'm going to be like getting stuck into kids' bloody hats, and I'll be on there as well. So everybody else needs to be doing the same.
So, Emily, just remind the people what the hat competition is about and how much we're giving away.
Well, the prize was £10, but then we've got a £20 boots donation voucher, and then we've got another £20 sent from Ben, SOS. So it's put any hat, bucket hat, silly hat, whatever, get your pictures, like and share the Red Rose Recovery page, and then post your pictures on the Lancashire User Forum page. And the competition, the winner will be announced on Thursday next week. So, you know, as many hats as you can think of. Just, you know, it's some fun, and it's good money prize as well coming up for Christmas. So
yeah,
definitely.
Brilliant.
Okay, so moving on, we just wanted to talk about some of the groups that we do, and one that's just come up now, and I think it's important. So it's called Hope and Beyond. All right, so we've got this contract with Mind, and it allows us to help people either on a one-to-one or in groups, whichever you want, and it's for everybody. Anybody who feels isolated, just the well-being's down, they're feeling anxious, depressed. I've just shared the poster with you. So this is it, as you can see. So it's a virtual peer-led support program in partnership with Mind. We've got groups focusing on improving mental health and well-being, promoting community-based virtual connections, one-to-one telephone support, digital support, and groups for the most vulnerable in our communities. So that's the poster.
And
so
I think
sorry, Dan.
Sorry, Bev. I think it's just interesting just to tell people as well, if they do struggle with the digital support, you know, we can talk you through getting onto that.
So this post is shared all over Facebook. So you can either come straight to me, Oscar or Glenn, or just refer yourself in, go into our website and refer yourself into it. It's dead easy. So, and then we do structured group for 5 weeks. We look at your good life model. We look at setting goals for you, what barriers you might have in getting to them goals. We look at your emotions, the body sensations you get with emotions, the behaviors that come with them. We do some mentalization, a lot of mindfulness. And I think it's just a really good course, and it's for everybody. I know Red Rose, when you think of Red Rose, you think of we're a drug and alcohol service, but this is bigger than that. This is like we're diversifying, if that's the right word, and it's for anybody whatsoever who's feeling isolated, lonely in this COVID lockdown. So Emily, you did it, didn't you? You've done the 5 weeks. What did you think?
Yeah, really interesting. It just completely helped me around my mental well-being, and it helped me set goals in my life, look at triggers, you know, looking at different situations, practice mentalization, just generally really helped me understand what was going on for me, and you know, different triggers, and did lots of different approaches. We did a little bit of meditation, and a diary of how we were feeling each day, about how we felt about certain things, and it was really, really interesting, and I recommend anybody to do this course. It's really good.
Yeah, and I think the telephone support as well is helping a lot of people, because like Pete was just saying, some people haven't got internet, they can't afford it, they haven't got the phones that you can get onto internet with. Not everyone's got WhatsApp and smartphones, have they? So we can just ring you up, you can have a chat, we'll do the groups with you over the phone if you want, but if you just want a general chat, that's what we do here at Red Rose. And it's not just an East thing, this, it's all of Lancashire. It's a team that's covered from like the north, central and east. And also our other groups, so we have some fun groups, we have some women's groups, men's groups, you name it, we have a group for it. So, but it's dead easy. If you go to our webpage, even before you become a member, if you go to www.redroserecovery.org.uk and you click on the what's on, and it brings up our calendar, you can just click on a day and you can join the Zoom group straight from there if you want. And all our details are on there. It gives a brief description of what the group's about. And, join it. If you don't like it, you can leave. You can hide your camera if you don't want to come straight on camera, as long as you introduce yourself and we know that, you're...
Well, Jonathan Chapman's already shared the post on his own Facebook page, so thank you, Jonathan. So anyone can do that. Barbara English, try the course out, it's worth it, it helps with so many things. And Christopher Blencarn, it's a wonderful course, it really helps understanding mental health. It is really interesting.
Thanks. You got out, Tad, Danny?
I love doing it. I love facilitating them groups, and the feedback that we're getting from them is all positive stuff. If anyone is struggling out there, connect with us. We want to help you. So can we just move on, Bev? We've got a couple of celebrations to add tonight. So you're celebrating 4 years, aren't you? Today?
I am, yeah.
Do you want to share a little bit of how you've got to 4 years? Because that is amazing. We love you.
Well, yeah, I'd give myself a little pat on the back for getting to 4 years. I never thought I'd get there. So Red Rose found me in hospital, and I have stuck with Red Rose, and I became a volunteer. But step by step, little by little, I didn't push myself. I just kept on going. And connection, like Ben was saying before, connection is key. And you surround yourself with the right people, the people who know. So I were anxious, I were depressed, and people understood me because they'd been like that before. Just like when I talk to someone, I understand what they're saying when they can't get out of their house. I understand, I've been there myself. So just step by step, I became a volunteer, did that for about 18 months. Then I got a 13-hour job. Now I practically work for Red full time, and I love my job. I love helping other people, but I also have to have the work-life balance, because you can't give. You've got to take some time for yourself, and that's why self-care is really, really important. Really important to take time for yourself and pick up your phone. If you're struggling, you don't have to ring a service, ring a friend, but just do not sit there and struggle on your own. Connection is your key. So I think, Danny, you've got something, haven't you, to share with us?
Yeah, so my girlfriend's been struggling with her own mental health recently due to this lockdown, and she had a little thing come through the post from one of her friends, and it's a kind box for unkind days. It's absolutely beautiful. She's got a whole lot of stuff in there, but I just want to read from this book really quickly. We've got some ideas for self-care. So the first one is: read a book before bed for an hour. Take your lunch break away from your desk. Open and sort your post. Walk barefoot on the grass. Meditate. Make lists. Express the stress. Check in with people that you like and love. have enough water to drink, set some boundaries, budget, take your medication, stretch your legs, breathe in fresh air. If you have a pet, pet the pet. Cuddle someone or something. Peruse the photos that bring back good memories. And the final one is step towards a dream. I
Brilliant,
just
Dan.
thought it was really lovely, me.
It is. And I
You've
think
got that
we do a
club,
women's group, and we talk about things like that, don't we, Emily, in the women's group?
Yes,
About
we
taking
do.
care. Have you
We
got any
do.
comments?
You've got lots of comments, Bev. So Carmel Thorogood, well done, Bev. Paul Kitcher, inspirational, big love. Lindsay Jackson, love our Bev. Well done on your sober years, and the cake looked amazing. Darren Bird, amazing, Bev. We love you. Joe Duffield, well done, Bev. Brad Duke, well done, Bev. Massive achievement. Kaylee Kamel, amazing, Bev. Well done. Stuart Watson, rock on, Bev. Bev, are you feeling that love?
I am, yeah. Thanks,
are you feeling
guys.
it?
But we've got a bigger achievement. We've got a bigger achievement here tonight, and I don't know where he is. I can see Dom, but we've got a bigger achievement.
Where is it?
Where is he, Dom?
Can you hear us?
Yeah, Dom can. He's just getting him. So, Dave, we've got a bigger achievement. Danny, do you want to share it? 12 years, Dave. Dave did 12 years on the 11th. Absolutely fantastic.
Great.
Well done, Dave. And Dave's, I think you're going to share with us now, aren't you, on your 12 years clean and how you got there and a bit of your journey.
Hello, hi everybody.
Hi, Dave.
I'm about to sit on the floor because we'd set the laptop up so we could play the songs. Now this laptop might go in a minute, but Dominic's going to try and set my other one up so we can get on that. Oh God, I'm not comfortable sat on the floor.
Where's the ID for this?
Anyway, yeah, thank you for that introduction then. And yes, this week, 11th of November, celebrated 12 years of continuous clean time. And, you know, that's amazing in itself, do you know what I mean? But what's really also amazing is the life that I've been afforded, you know, in getting clean. You've seen my twin brothers with me here tonight. So the life we've had since cleaning up has been immense, you know, but a little bit, because I know that there's people listening further afield than just here. You know, it wasn't always like this, do you know what I mean? Before I found recovery and found other people like these to engage with, I was like a dead man walking. I was like a lost soul. I was attending services for many, many years on prescriptions of methadone, and it was really and I wasn't sure about sharing this, but you know what? I wanted to, what Alison talked about earlier on. Alison's my colleague as well, one of my colleagues. But what she shared about earlier on with blood-borne viruses, you know, I remember I was in prison in HMP alt course in, I think it was 2000, and I don't even know why I went for the test. I don't even know what was going on in my head for going for the test. But I went for the test anyway, and then when I went back for my results, the doctor told me that I had hepatitis C. And in between walking from the doctors back to Canal Blue, I've completely forgot about it. It was gone right in the back of my denial mechanisms in my head, because there was no way I was going to talk about that. There was no way I was going to go on the wing and start going, hey, guess what's just happened to me? It was almost like I felt like it was like a death sentence, or they had a big apron on my back. That's how bad it felt. So I know what it's like for people who really fear, you know, coming forward and taking these tests. But you know what? It's the best thing you can ever do for yourself. It's the best thing. It's the best thing I ever did. When I cleaned up, one of the first things I did was address that problem. And I had to do a year on interferon. And I know a lot of people have had bad experiences on interferon. I actually did all right. You know, I kind of had a good rhythm with it. And anyway, I did what the doctor told me, and I followed the direction, and it worked. And sure enough, I cleared it. You know, and I know that. I know that before that, I wouldn't have even talked about it. I wouldn't have even mentioned it to anybody. But the reality was, as soon as I did it, I started to advocate as well. I started to, within my jobs, what I've had, I've been dead fortunate that I've been able to go into prisons and I've been able to work in different services. And what I've done is, I've always advocated for it, always tried to make people feel a little bit more comfortable about it. Because it is a tough thing, you know. But like I said, I'm trying here as well at the same time to log on to join. Oh yeah, I need to put your login off here on it.
I've sent Dominic the link via Messenger.
Oh, there you go, Dominic. Sent it by Messenger. Put it on. Okay. So anyway, yeah, getting back to before I got here, you know, I couldn't understand that when I very first started using, and I think it's dead important, I always share this, is that, you know, I heard someone share once and they said that they lit up like a Christmas tree. And I thought, that is exactly it. That's how I remembered it. I remember being going out and getting blind drunk and really, really loving it. And then I felt, you know, unconscious. And I woke up in the morning and in the middle of the night in my bed, and my bed was wet through and my face was all sore because my head had been in gravel and I had all plasters on my face. And I knew my mum was going to kill me in the morning. I knew she was going to kill me. Did I think about stopping? Did I think about, you better not do that again, David? Did I? All I could think about was, when am I going to get another go of that? When am I going to get another go of it? And sure enough, you know, that was where I believe my kind of like illness or whatever. Come on then, pass it in. I'll go on that one. I'm doing a swap now. Can you see me? Turn that one off. Hey, that was smooth, wasn't it? I can't even see that there. So, you know, in the early days, it was.
He has to mute himself, Dom, on that other laptop, please.
Done it. Can you hear me now? Turn that one off. No, that wasn't succinct, was it? Get him out of here. So, you know, and you know, the teachers and the politicians and mum and dads would say, don't take drugs, they're bad for you. And all I could think about was, they don't know which ones I'm having, because the ones I'm having are really good. Do you know what I mean? Because that's how it was. And when I was young, it seemed that everybody was doing it. And I thought, wow, I found my people. I had no inclination to the nightmare the future held for me. I didn't know. So there's going to be people who's only early, you know, in the teens or maybe even early 20s or whatever, who's been experimenting with drugs and who think that, you know what, this is great. They're all telling me not to do it. But I feel like this is really good. And I totally get you. I totally get you, because that's exactly how I felt. But the reality was, that's not how it happened. That's not how it continued. You know, and through a series of different types of drugs. And for many, many years, I couldn't, when I did want to stop, I couldn't stop. And I could never understand why there's something so destructive in my life, what had caused all these problems, that after a couple of days or a couple of hours of not having it, my head would tell me it was a good idea to have it again. How could it be so stupid? I'm not stupid. I thought I was like a bit intellectual, a bit more wide guy, you know, knew a bit. Yeah, I always fell for it all the time. And unfortunately, when I was first attending services, they didn't really have much education about the nature of addiction. It was mainly all about harm reduction and keeping me alive. And I thank God for that they did do that, you know. But thankfully today, we're a little bit more aware of the underlying parts of addiction, and not just the harm minimization and reduction part. And thankfully, we've got an amazing recovery community in East Lancs. In the Northwest is like a leader nationally. We've always had a massive recovery community in our area. And I'm so blessed for that, because when eventually I did, you often hear people say the gift of desperation. Because what I kept doing, I didn't think about addiction as being a thinking illness and being something much more than the drugs. I really thought it was about one drug. I really thought that if I could stop taking heroin, my life would be okay. And all my understanding of addiction was all about when I had that drug, I wasn't poorly. When it wore off, I was poorly. So then I had to have it again. And that was my continuous cycle. And that's what I would have given you the definition of addiction. I never realized that was a definition of dependency. I only learned that addiction, unlike dependency, actually starts when you've stopped. Because all of a sudden, the obsession and compulsion in my thinking now had to be taken up with other things. And that's why when I did ever stop for them hours or them minutes or even them couple of days, my head would constantly think about, you was better off when you was doing that. And I would end up finding my way back to using, you know, but eventually I stopped thinking that I could think my way out of it. And then I ended up going to the local services where I lived. And the guy behind the counter, he's one of my really good friends. He's somebody who I text on my birthday, and I see him regular, but I text him. So a big shout out to Peter Sheaf. He was the service manager in the services, and he was somebody who I knew, I'd used with and had knocked about with, and now he was clean. And not just clean, he had this wonderful, you know, like role. And he said to me, have you had enough? And I think the gift of desperation dropped enough for me to say, yes. What do you want me to do? And he introduced me by giving me some direction and giving me some suggestions. He introduced me to a mutual aid, a well-known fellowship that I attend. And also he introduced me to a new treatment centre what had moved into town, which specifically was working with the 12 steps, you know, and I was just so fortunate that it was like the planets aligned. You know, I went in there as a day program, and the lady explained to me about addiction and about the 12 steps and their first step. And, you know, in a way, one of them sayings, what they say in it, the rest is history, because it really is. See, because from that point, that was my clean date's 11/11/08, but that was the 20th of November. I actually went to this day program, and ever since I've not used, but the only reason that's happened, and I say this to all of the people who I try and support today, the only reason it's happened is because I got in touch and got around people like you. I got connected to other recovering addicts who understood me, who could give me direction. And there was nothing, I found out there was nothing what I'd done, what they'd not already done. I also found out that if I was going through something, anything, whether it be the death of a loved one, whether it be a relationship breakup, whether it be some insecurities, whatever it was, if I could just lift my head above the parapet and look around me, there was somebody else going through exactly the same. There was somebody else who could say, do you know what? I've got some experience around that. And I got myself a sponsor, and he was somebody who could guide me through the 12 steps. I got lots of people around me. I've got a really lovely network of people. I heard a guy share once, and he called it his war room. And he said, you know, like William, what's his name? William Shakespeare. When a prime minister's going to war, he has his war cabinet, and these people all give him, like, you know, the best ideas or the best advice. Winston Churchill, yeah, that's him. So I need my own war cabinet. I need people who I can run things by, and I can take, you know, the cookies off them, the good things off them. And sure enough, that's what's happened. You know, I've kept myself connected. And I've been able not just to stay clean. If we couldn't stay clean and it get better, we wouldn't do it. We wouldn't be here. You know, because I can still remember, and I think what's really important about recovery as well is never forgetting what it was like. Never forgetting, and then being grateful of what you've got today, and that'll keep you clean. And honest to God, I can still remember the thought in my head telling me that I was better off when I was using. How could I fall for that time and time again? I would even be coming out of prison. I'd stay clean in prison for the last couple of months before release and thinking I'd cracked it, only to get to the gate and all of a sudden have this thought in my head what said, well, you can have a treat. You can have a treat, David. You deserve that. How could I now be calling the same drugs what got me incarcerated and got me nearly on death's door? How can I now be calling them a treat? Because that's how addiction was working. Even during abstinence, it was still messing with my thinking. But yeah, since I got here, all I've done is just keep right in the middle of the boat, keep connected to other recovering people. We're dead fortunate in this day and age now how much, even though we're in lockdown and that's difficult. There's so many avenues you can contact online. There's so many, blogs and so many live shows like this where you can keep connected, and I know I'm just blessed. I have been blessed, but I know no matter what I do today, if I don't replicate it tomorrow, I'm in trouble. Addiction doesn't go anywhere for me.
He's frozen. Yeah.
The first step, and I was also listening to a new experience.
Dave? Yeah,
Is he
he's definitely
frozen?
frozen. Definitely.
Is he
Do you want to give
frozen?
us some comments while he
Yeah.
will come back?
Haley, Carmel, amazing Dave, true inspiration. Darren Bird, buzzing for you. Moonray, Angie, fantastic Dave. Alison Kershaw, go on Dave. Lindsay Jackson, 12 years, wow, love the hat and the cake. Barbara English, now that's an inspirational story, how great, 12 years, respect. Paul Bays, Kitcher, big love to the brothers, yes. Brad Duke, enough respect, Dave. There's so many people. Darren Bird, well said. Terry Hughes, Winston Churchill. I think that was when he got stuck of.
I think he's back. I think he's back now. Yeah, he's back. Go on, Dave, carry on.
I'm back, but I was on in near the end anyway. It's just mainly just to say to the people that, you alone will do it, but you'll not do it alone. I always remember someone said to me when I first come into recovery that, and it doesn't matter what pathway or modality of recovery you use, you're going to need maintenance of it, you're going to need vigilance, and you're going to need connection. Without them three things, you can't do it, no matter what it is, whether you do fellowship or whether you find another route through Celebrate Recovery or whatever it is, whatever you find, you will have to maintain it. You will have to keep vigilant, keep asking yourself, why am I going to that place? Why would I want to go and have me dinner in Wetherspoons? Why? I hate that. When one of my clients says that to me, oh yeah, to go Wetherspoons for my breakfast, and like, are you stupid? Can you not get that bit? Why would you want to do that? I know we're not endorsing. Anyway, thank you very much. I'm going to leave it there so you can carry on your show. But one love, thanks for listening to me.
Thanks, Dave. Brilliant.
Well done. Can I just say, Barbara English put what you just said, Dave. One person can't win a battle, but many people can win the war. Together we do succeed. And you are an inspiration. I can relate to a lot of your story, the stuff you were saying. It's like, yeah, get it completely. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Lots of love there. I did read some of the comments. I don't know if you'd frozen, but I hope you'd heard them. You've got a lot of support out there, both of you. Thank you.
Thanks ever so much, Dave, for that. I mean, I remember when I first met you and, we sat down and had conversations, and that resonated with me. When you said, we alone, no, say again. You alone will do it, but you will not do it alone. And that resonated for me. And I've never forgot what you've said and what you've taught me. And I just want to say massive congratulations. I follow what you do, and I think you're amazing, you and your brother. So thanks ever so much for coming on. We love you.
Yeah, real inspiration, you're. Yeah, because you can just tell he's such an inspiration to people, and loads of people love him. Because I were really proud today to get like 107 likes on my 4-day. But Dave got about 800 likes on his like. So I've got a bit to go yet.
Yeah.
All right, so shall we introduce our next guest, Dan? Yeah?
Yeah, so we've got Darren that's come from We Are With You. Shout out to Darren because he's put into our competition a £20 Boots voucher to top it up to £50. So thanks, Darren. Do you want to come in?
I'm not sure how to follow David. I mean, how can you follow that live share? It's I think for me, what really resonated with me is obviously We Are With You works with young people. And I was just sort of, my mind was working overtime thinking, I wonder if We Are With You were about then, what it would have been like. But yeah, thanks, David. And I feel quite privileged to be invited here today. So I'm not going to keep, well, people know me as Dazza instead of Darren. So, you know, I think I'm amongst friends, so call me Dazza. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about We Are With You. Some people might think, who the hell are We Are With You? Well, if you've heard of Young Adaptation, that's who we were. And we've now changed our name earlier this year. So I'm here just to talk a little bit about the YP service that we've got across Lancashire. And We Are With You cover the whole of Lancashire, bar Blackburn with Darwin and Blackpool, which are unitary. We support young people under the age of 25. They're experiencing problems with substance misuse, including alcohol. And what's really strange for me is when I first started volunteering for a service called Drugline many, many moons ago, alcohol wasn't seen as a problem. It was just the illicit stuff. And now I'm quite thankful that, yeah, it's recognised and there's a lot more support out there for people like that. So obviously we support young people on the age of 25 and there is no lower age limit. We'll support the family as well. And during this very strange year that it's been, you know, I remember leaving the office in Burnley in March and I've not been back since. And I never thought I would say that come November, I'd be still working from home. But here I am. But what we're trying to do with young people, we're still seeing young people in the community, in schools. A lot of the work, albeit remotely, we are still seeing face-to-face clients in the community, obviously following precautions. And we have a COVID fund that we support the young people. So I think it was Daniel or someone had mentioned about. No, it wasn't. It was the guy, was it Peter? Yeah, it was Peter who mentioned about, you know, people having access to this sort of platform. So what we've been able to do is for the young people that engage in our service is through the COVID fund, offer a mobile device so they can have one-to-ones with the worker, they can access social media, and really back to basics, even if they want some toiletries, if things are strained at home, which we're finding, you know, certainly the mental health side of things across the board, not just young people, you know, people are finding it difficult. We also have a family offer where we are currently, Lisa and Ali are the family workers who are offering group work to parents of young people that are using. And they're offering sort of educational sessions around attachment, around triggers, relationships, all that sort of stuff. They do have a phone line, and I think Emily's going to share our Facebook page, We Are With You Lancashire. And on there, you'll find when the phone lines are available. They're available every Wednesday, 10 till 12 or 4 till 6, and that's for any affected other, any family. The young person doesn't have to engage in our service. It can be any family in Lancashire that want any advice, information. And then we do, obviously we're quite big with this on the social media front, Facebook, Twitter. We have looked at, oh, what's that new one? Can't think of it. TikTok, but I don't think that's such a good platform, to be honest. But anyway, so we're trying to, and we do a lot of service user feedback, evaluation to improve, continue to improve the service as much as we can. if you go on our Facebook page, you can see we've got a competition at the minute called the face mask, and it's quite a good competition actually. So obviously in these lovely COVID times, we've got obviously everyone has to wear these lovely masks now. I have a Superman mask which I love, but there is a competition on there for people to design a face mask. And there's sort of top 3 prizes. The first prize is a 100 gift card, second is a 50 gift card, and third is a 25th gift card. And then there's 5 runners up who'll receive a £10 gift card. And it's basically go on our webpage, design a face mask, send it to Claire, whose email is on the post on our page. Send in your entries, and yeah, hopefully you might win. So we also, the last thing that I'll sort of finish up on really is we have a web chat, and we're trialing at the minute a YP specific web chat, which again you can find details on the Facebook page, and that runs every Tuesday and Thursday 6 till 9. We also have a national web chat, which again you can find the links on our page. I'm not sure what else to say, to be honest, but obviously we're a confidential service. One of the things I think, you know, we get a lot of self-referrals is because of that. And, you know, it's a great service. I've worked for the service since 2006, and I've started off as a key worker and then progressed up into management. I've been involved with drugs previously. I am a recovering gambler, and I think sometimes you find a lot of people working in this field, life experience there's no limit on it. There's no price attached to it. Experience is really key. And hearing David speak, I mean, we have a mind and body project in the North Lancashire where Jess, who's in recovery herself, and she goes into schools and she sort of raises awareness around mental health, self-harm, and the schools love that. And I think what we're going to find after certainly whatever the new normal is, mental health and substance misuse are going to be really key. I mean, one of the things that I sort of champion in East Lancashire is I attend a dual diagnosis meeting with CGL. And one of the best things about that is historically substance misuse and mental health have always, oh, it's your problem. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? And always passed on, whereas these meetings that involve mental health, they're really key because it stops people or other professionals, agencies passing the buck. Instead, what it means is we all work together. So that's we are with you, and that's me. If you've got any questions, then you can contact me. Either through the Facebook page, or if you contact Bev or Emily, they can forward you my details.
Yeah, thanks, Darren. Brilliant. I'm sure Emily's got some comments for you. Have you, Emily?
Yeah, I've put the links on as well. I've clicked on to make sure they work, so they do. It takes you straight onto the pages. So the links on there. Joe Clayton said, "We are with you. Help me loads. Big respect." Joe's amazing as well. He's doing really well, so that's brilliant. And Sarah Elizabeth Davis, sounds like We Are With You are doing some amazing work. And to be honest, you know, it's something that's close to my heart because I have a son who's 21 who's struggling, and it's something that I'm going to put forward to him. And you know, he knows he needs to get that help, so it's massive. And it's like I say, I wish they'd have had things like that when I was younger, but they didn't. So, but brilliant. Thank you very much.
I'm just gonna read something that Alison's put. So Alison, Wiwi's man and Danny's manager, she's put, Dazza is a great guy, shadowed him at Younger Addiction in 2010, passionate in supporting young people. So good our paths have crossed again. That's what she's put to you. So just wanted to share that with you.
Oh, Miss Alison.
You
I remember.
you can't have her back.
Actually, there is a story there. Actually, I don't know if she mentioned, but we started a project to do with like a partnership with the local A&E departments, and it was to raise awareness. Now, as a result of that project, which I'm so chuffed I was involved in, they now have a HALS team, adult services going, and that sort of blueprint has been spread across all the NHS, which is amazing.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks, Darren.
Thanks ever so much, Darren, for coming on. I just wanted to just quickly come in and say, you know, when we were back at school in the 80s, we had a program called Grange Hill, and the message was just say no. You know, there wasn't explained to us what would happen if we did go down that road. I've gone into schools with, you know, a charity that's in Lancashire called Why Not?
Why Not?
And they do amazing work. I love going into schools and sharing a bit with that. So in the future, when all this COVID's lifted, I'd love to do something like that with you. So thanks ever so much for coming on. Thank you ever so much for donating the £20 booze voucher to go onto our competition. It's very much appreciated. Thank you. Next guest then, Bev.
Yep, it's over to Paul. Thanks for being so patient, Paul.
Yeah, sorry,
Okay, guys.
For like 2 hours.
Thanks for having us. I'll keep it as briefly as possible because I'm sure everyone wants the Saturday night takeaway, you know, and get yourself a brew and so on. So yeah, I'll keep it as brief as possible. Yeah, I mean, it's been great this afternoon, very entertaining, you know, and loads of identification. Very similar journeys, you know, with what people have shared, you know, and just what was mentioned then, you know, when I was young, there was nothing, there wasn't, you know, there really wasn't, you know. I remember sitting in a hospital, you know, and it was like, if you don't take this medication, you know, you're finished, and that was the support, you know, so. We must echo that, you know, and emphasize how much is really out there, you know, and community resources and all coming together, because it is out there, you know. So just briefly, just quickly, we've got Challenge Through Sports Initiative now, an umbrella, many projects now tackling reoffending, you know, employability projects. Now we've just come into a couple of new projects, which I just quickly want to mention. So we've got a homeless project now working with 16 to 25-year-olds, which is brand spanking new, and it's exactly the same model, although our partners now are shelter accommodation, support accommodation, you know, and different housing avenues, you know, working with that audience. So Dazza, there might be a bit of work related there. You know, also as well, you know, I cover Rosendale, me, on the employability project, and that's been great. That, you know, we have platforms, you know, with the Challenge Through Sports model, but I also work with all the local employers within Rosendale and get people into jobs, you know, and they've enrolled with our project where that mentoring takes place from the platforms within the community. And we're going to be going over to Pendle and Burnley as well with the same model. You know, it's been really successful. And on the strength of that, we've been secured a new contract with DWP, working with 18 to 24-year-olds with the same model, you know, as a youth hub, which we've got our hub, all the infrastructures in place with an actual drop-in, you know, of a hub which takes place at Futures Parks in Rosendale Council. And we've also working with all different providers delivering training, you know, and we've got a work club, activities, and there's a full structure for the young guys now. And on the back of that, you know, on the strength of that structure, they've got the opportunities for the Kickstart scheme, where I liaise with all the employers and I'll mentor them guys into them jobs. There's absolutely loads going on, you know, and with it being education based, no one has to stay at home, you know, and the activities that we do have, you know, there's a criteria for it, and Daniel's going to share our online timetable where it's a full structure of activities to get involved with. And we've got loads of walk and talk groups, and the criteria for this, you know, the audience that we're talking about this afternoon, everybody fits this criteria. So, you know, if you've got medical reasons, that's fine, you know, but nobody has to stay at home and disengage and stay disconnected, you know. So this timetable is here for anybody. Anybody can get involved with this. We have got them shared on the Lancashire User Forum page, which Daniel kindly shared, and they're also on the Challenge Through Sports Initiative Facebook page, with all the support workers' contact details throughout Lancashire. You know, it's not just the East, you know, and there's a lot of stuff going on. But I'll just quickly mention as well, we've got a participant WhatsApp group. There's hundreds on there. They're all doing bingos, quizzes, all engaging with other, and they've never met each other, you know. So it's a bond that I've never seen before, you know, as we move forward in the COVID crisis, and anybody can get involved with that, you know. And I think the theme today was self-care, and it's really important that we look, you know, mental health services are busting at the seams. Let's make no mistake about that, you know. But going forward in the future, you know, we've got to look at the impact from now, you know. And the message for me is like the reading what Daniel read before. It's very much that. It's the simple things before we let things manifest and get into scary areas where it just enhances people's mental health and anxieties, you know. So I'll just quickly mention Active Lancashire working with 15 partners on the More Positive Together project, and their housing providers, Calico. There's 15 different providers, and they're all addressing, you know, everybody's insecurities, debts, housing, employment, sheltered accommodation. Anybody can access these partners, you know. So all our contact details are on the page, you know, for you to get linked up into the MPT project. So if anyone's got any external issues, I'm not talking about personal self-care here, I'm talking about external stuff that just gets in the way of, you know, of deterioration, you know, long term, you know. So it is about action, it is about responsibility, and if you've got any of them scary areas going on, the support is there, you know. You know, and it takes a phone call, you know, to be able to get linked up to the right guys to start addressing these issues. That's about it, you know. And you know, I just read this out. I've seen this, and it was from Robin Williams, the actor. I thought it was great, you know. I just finished on this. So it said, don't be afraid of disconnecting and losing people. Be afraid of losing yourself by trying to please everyone. Make what you will of that, you know. I just think, you know, that's a really important. It rings a few tunes with me. But yeah, there's loads of support out there, and yourselves. This is a perfect platform for that, you know, for everybody to get involved and start supporting each other. There's just tons and tons of stuff going on. I couldn't get a game of chess 20 years ago with somebody in recovery, you know. In it, David, you know, we were just lost on the landings. There was no support, you know, and that was it, you know. There's tons of support out there today. So look, enjoy your evening, and I hope you get a decent takeaway, you know, at the end of this. But thanks very much, guys.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks ever so much.
Well done, Paul.
Can we have a quick update, Paul, with the shop?
Okay, so sorry, I forgot to mention that. So, you know, through the COVID crisis, we had a launch day for the end of November. You know, so all the it's in Accrington, the shop, and it's in the Arndale. It used to be the old sports shop. You know, it's massive. You know, so the opportunities there for all providers to get involved and start utilising the building, groups. You know, there's a bit of a business on the side there, selling all kinds of sports equipment, clothes. You know, there's going to be all kinds of channels and support for people. You know, but the more importantly is a platform for all providers to come together, to work together, to just impact on that community. You know, so we're just waiting for a launch date for that now. And our line manager, Jay Moody, she will invite all the necessary partners to get involved with that. And I'll just give a big shout out, just by the way, about volunteers.
Yes.
Now, volunteers, yeah, have been the absolute backbone and the strength. I don't even like using the word volunteers anymore. You know, the staff, you know, and they've been absolute assets to the community and brought all this together, you know. It's been amazing, you know, but, you know, let's just watch this space with the government guidelines and, you know, all the partners will be involved and we'll get off the ground.
And then can we quickly just touch on what you guys have got going on with the Mayathon app?
Yeah. So there's been, it's a Mayathon app. So that is also on the Lancashire User Forum page, as well as the Challenge Through Sports Initiative page. Mayathon is a buddy system where you download an app and you get into a buddy group and you're doing activities for 26 minutes for 26 days. Now, you know what it's like in recovery and the competitive around this. It's been, to be honest, it's been doing me head in. Loads of people on it now, loads of people, you know, and I'm being all day competitive over it, you know, but the whole point of this is giving people the opportunity to do a little bit. And I've done this with our team as part of our well-being on the staff side of things about 2 months ago. And you know what? You feel part of something, you feel connected to something, and you're meeting friends, you know, and you're all talking. It just livens things up a bit, you know. So that is on your page and on our page, but the finishing, you need to do it by this weekend. I think it's Monday, isn't it, Daniel?
Yeah, Monday it starts. Yeah, 19th.
It does look a little bit complicated, but it's just downloading an app, you know. I just want to say as well, because you know, it's been echoed about people not having access to digital platforms and Wi-Fi. Yeah. Like Dazet mentioned, you know, we've got some COVID funding as well, looking after some mindfulness and so on, and working with some mental health. There's many partners out there now, even DWP and job coaches, where participants can access free laptops and free phones. It's just about knowing where they are. Do you know what I mean? You know, and getting the right guidance around it, you know, and mentoring people into them worlds, you know, because there's tons of people that are disconnected, tons of people.
And if people need to get hold of you, Paul, we've got your whole contact list of all the CSI workers on the Lancashire User Forum page as well.
So anything, yeah.
Can I just say, Paul, two members of my team went to the shop in the Arndale, and they love it. They can't wait to use it. So you need to get it open as soon as.
Yeah, I went as well. I went to shop. Jane invited me down to have a look. It's gonna be awesome.
You know, I was hoping to turn into an Adidas store or something, you know.
And it gave that, it'll be great there.
They actually said it's good discounts as well on that sportswear than usual shops, so that's even better, especially for young people.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be loads of great stuff coming out of there, you know, and it just gives us more visible presence as well, you know, you know, for all the areas of that. But we're really looking forward to it. There's so much that we're getting involved with at the moment, you know, and we're completely really busy. I've been working from home, Dazza, you know, and I've been doing online assessments, you know, and so on. And it's either Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, Zoom, Skype, you know, and that's yes, David, you know, and that's my world at the moment. But we've all got to adapt, you know, and personal self-care, you know, I've really got to stick that in, you know, and I have to go out and I get lost with me Jack Russell, you know, and that type of stuff, you know, and it's really important for me as well.
Yeah.
I've got one more question. It's like the most important question. Will the skiing come back?
So I was talking, the Leisure Trust have just took over the ski slopes at Ski Rosendale. So talking to the chief exec the other day, so I can get that any time I want, you know. So it was more successful in the winter, wasn't it, Dan?
Oh, it was brilliant. Loved
So
it. Absolutely loved it.
Something.
You know, you've got 3 slopes, haven't you? You've got the beginner slope, and then you've got like an intermediate slope.
Yeah.
Did you ever get to that big slope? The
Oh.
view from the big slope it's amazing. You see for so long, but yeah, it's such a whiz going down. It's brilliant. Yeah, I just want to echo what you've said about the volunteers. The volunteers, even for Red Rose and CSI, they're amazing people. They do amazing stuff, and they don't get paid for it, and they still top up and they give they can.
Yeah.
So shout out to all the volunteers, whatever you're doing in any capacity. Thank you. We love you.
Yes, Emily. Sat there all night with us.
It's one of the biggest tools of getting connected, you know, and anyone that's haven't got experience with volunteering, it's the way forward. You know, it's how we start, it's how we evolve, you know. Okay.
And I'm certainly one of the biggest tools here, so I won't worry about that, you know.
Well, thanks very much, guys.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks very much. Have you got some comments or questions for Paul, Emily?
Andrew Owen, yes, Paul, great work you're doing. Where's your bucket hat? But you've got a hat on, so fair enough. You know, I mean, you've got a hat on.
You know what? I'm going to get it.
Right. I'm going to read. All right, then, and then I'll carry on reading the show. Alison Kershaw. Great that services are working together to support the people that need it most. Brad Duke, brilliant stuff. Darren Bird, respect. Moonray Angie, thank you, Paul. Oh, yeah, I like that hat. Terry Hughes, couldn't get a game of chess. Haha, I used to beat you, lad. Oh, dear. Stuart Watson, well done again. Love team. Yeah, lots of love. Sounds really interesting. I need to get a bit more active as well, so it probably put me into a bit of a, you know.
Slowly.
Thanks, Emily.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, Danny, are we going to spin that wheel?
Yes, all the guys from Saturday, watching Saturday's show, everyone that's liked and shared it. Don't forget, you have to press the like and the share button. It's really important. You can't just press the share button and think that you're going to be entered. We have to have the like and the share button. So this is for the people that have shared from last Saturday up to this Saturday. And we'll give it a spin and see who wins. That rhymed, that, didn't it? I'll behave. Don't know who that is. No idea.
No,
Anyway,
I think we should spin it again.
Oh, my God! Go on. I'll just congratulate myself on the page.
Yeah. Oh, well, you deserve it, Emily, for all the hard work.
That is karma in its finest.
What does Emily get?
She gets £20, Darren, £20 voucher.
So we're just going to wrap it up now, I think, with Dave and Dominic are going to play us out. Are you ready, guys?
Hello.
Hello guys, we're gonna play us out with an old favourite. It's called The Newcomer, and some of you can share it on. And this is for all the people who are in treatment as well, who were at the start of the journey. You know, Donna's messaged as well. Stick at it, Donna. You know, and for anyone who's new into recovery, you know, someone just messaged me while the show was on, and they said, "Is there not a gap? Is there something in the middle of being in active addiction and then being happy and all like you lot are?" And I said, "Yeah, it's called recovery, women. You know, whatever the way you do it, you've got to go through. It's darkest before the dawn.
Yes.
Yeah. So don't give in. Hang about. Stick about. This is my journey of coming into recovery, and this is called The Newcomer." Never understand why everyone was smiling. Sun was shining, but inside I was dying. I just needed to know which way to go. I've been traveling down the wrong side of the highway, trying to do it on my own and trying to do it my way. I just needed to know which way to go. Come on, we can all join in. And we said, "Show me the way to go. I'm tired and I want to know. And having never long time ago. So show me the way to go. And having never living, you know. So show me the way to go. And show me the way to go. And show me the way to go." I ended up going and stealing till I found myself in the LUF meeting, where I heard what I needed to know. I was full of fear, I thought no one cared, till I heard my story and everybody shares. I was starting to know which way to go. Come on. And we said, "Show me the way to go. I'm tired and I want to know. That having never long time ago. Show me the way to go. And having never living, you know. Show me the way to go. Show me the way to go. And show me the way to go." Right, this is you lot now. So I started sticking with the winners. Soon I was welcoming newcomers, 'cause they needed to know which way to go. I told them I was on the right side of the house. I couldn't do it on my own, I couldn't do it my way. I was starting to know which way to go. Now, come on, everyone. And we said, "Show me the way to go. I'm tired and I want to know. And had enough a long time ago. And show me the way to go. And had enough of living, you know. So show me the way to go. And show me the way to go. And show me the way to go." Thanks, guys. Keep coming back. Woo! Never give in.
Yes, thanks, guys. Brilliant.
That was my exercise done. That was me being active.
We got any more love from Emily?
So I'm exhausted now. I've just done my active bit, so I'm all right now. Just lots of people. Jill Whitehead, thank you to you all. Joe Clayton, everyone's congratulating me, so thank you. I'm very excited about that. That'll go towards my Christmas food. Good tune, guys, from Joe Clayton. Donna Feeney, evening, great evening once again. One love and respect to you all. I've had a brilliant evening, and thank you, everybody. I've had a lovely time.
Guys, thanks for your service.
Yeah, thanks a lot to everybody who's been on. You've been amazing, a lot of you. Make our jobs much easier.
I'd like to just individually thank them. So Paul, thanks ever so much for coming on. Darren, amazing, thank you. Alison, really informative, thanks ever so much. Ben for coming on, and Dave and Dominic, as always, we love you. South LUF in the house. I think that's it, Bev, isn't it?
Yeah, so just like to thank
Don't
Daniel.
forget, whether you're watching this on catch up, whether you're watching it tomorrow, tonight, all through the week, don't forget to like, don't forget to share. Let's get this message across.
And don't forget your hats on the LUF page, and make sure you follow the Red Rose page for a chance to win £50. It's a good prize. All right, so I'd just like to thank Emily for the comments. Brilliant as always. Keeps us smiling. And my wonderful colleague and friend, Daniel, for being my co-host tonight.
And Bev, well done on your 4 years. Woo!
Thanks, Dave. Thank you.
Go on, Bev.
So, good night, everyone, and go and have your teas if you've not already had them.
Thank you very much.
Good night, and we'll say goodbye. Thanks a lot.
Very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.